Hey there, everybody. We're diving deep today into personal finance. And, we've all been there, feeling broke at some point or another, right? So today we're looking at this YouTube video called The Only Way to Start Being Broke. It's from the Better Ideas channel. They're great at breaking down complex topics. Have you ever felt like you're working so hard, earning money, but it just disappears? And you're no closer to reaching your financial goals?
Oh, yeah. That's a feeling almost everyone experiences. We're kind of all stuck in the same cycle. And this video has a really smart way to explain it.
Oh, really? I'm all ears.
They use this analogy to Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese? Okay. I'm curious.
Yeah. So think about it. You work, you earn tickets, which is like your money, but then we're basically programmed to spend all those tickets on prizes, all those things we buy.
I see where you're going with this. The prizes are fun, but only for a little while. And then you just want more. You need more tickets to get the next thing.
Exactly. And just like at Chuck E. Cheese, those prizes, they don't really gain value. They just kind of clutter up your life. So we end up stuck in this loop, working all the time, spending. But we're not really getting anywhere.
It's like trading our time and energy for these little moments of happiness. The video calls this the trinket shop, which I think is brilliant. This analogy is so eye-opening because it shows the bigger picture. It's not just about our individual choices.
No.
It's about a system that pushes us to spend more than we save, to want instant gratification instead of thinking long-term.
Right. You've got all these marketing messages every day, all this pressure to keep up with everyone else. It all just feeds that cycle of work, earn, spend, repeat, and wages. They haven't really kept up how much things cost.
It's almost like we're playing a game that's rigged against us.
Yeah, it can definitely feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
But the first step to changing the game is understanding it. So what are your Chuck E. Cheese prizes?
Mm-hmm.
What are you spending on? That isn't really getting you closer to what you want in the long run.
That's a good question. And that's where the video gets really helpful. It doesn't just point out the problem. It offers some real solutions. The first one is pay yourself first. Can you explain that a bit more?
Sure. It's a simple idea, but it's really powerful. You put aside some of your income for savings before you do anything else. It's like paying your future self.
Yeah.
For using your ability to earn now.
Okay. The video suggests setting aside 10%.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, can seem like a lot when you're starting out.
It can, but even small amounts
Yeah.
really add up over time. Think about all those trinket shop purchases, little things we buy, subscription services, daily coffee runs. That costs way more than we realize. Now imagine taking even a little bit of that and putting it towards your future.
Right. The video gives some funny examples of how people hemorrhage money without even realizing it. It's definitely eye-opening. But for people who are really struggling financially, saving anything can feel impossible.
I get it. But the thing is, people are really adaptable. If you make saving a priority, you'll find ways to make it work. You might start cooking at home more or finding free things to do instead of expensive ones.
It's all about making conscious choices.
Exactly. Every dollar you spend is a vote for the life you want to create.
Yeah. It's crazy how much all those little things can really add up. I know I've definitely fallen into those traps before.
We all do. It's natural to want those little hits of pleasure. But the important thing is to recognize those patterns and make choices that are good for us.
Yeah. It's like retraining your brain to find satisfaction in building a better future instead of just buying more and more stuff.
Right. And that leads us to the next big idea from the video. Increase your earning ability.
Right.
And this doesn't necessarily mean going back to school.
Yeah.
Or getting another degree.
Oh, good. That's a relief because not everyone has the time or money for that.
Exactly. Nowadays, there are so many other ways to learn new skills the video talks about. A video editor who learned everything online through tutorials and practice. And now they have a successful career.
That's amazing. It really shows how accessible learning is now. There are so many online courses, YouTube tutorials, free learning platforms. You can literally learn anything.
It's true. And it's not just about technical skills. It's also about soft skills like communication, problem solving, creativity, being able to adapt. Those are valuable in any job.
So it's like increasing your earning ability is really about investing in yourself.
Absolutely. And that investment can take many forms. Taking a class, go to a workshop, reading books, listening to podcasts.
Hey, you're learning right now. Speaking of investing in yourself, the video also talks about mindset. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. The video creator. He encourages everyone to really think about their thoughts. Like, what are you truly excited about? Are you always thinking about getting new things? Or are you focused on achieving goals, pursuing your passions, making a difference?
It's like they say, where tension goes, energy flows.
Right. And this all ties into the idea of intrinsic motivation. which is about finding enjoyment and purpose in the things you do, instead of just being motivated by external rewards.
So how does intrinsic motivation relate to personal finance?
Well, when you're intrinsically motivated, working towards financial well-being becomes less about depriving yourself and more about aligning your actions with your values. For example, imagine someone who hates their job. They might make good money, but they're miserable because their work doesn't align with their passions.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, but now imagine that same person takes the time to figure out what they're really interested in. Maybe it's writing or design or starting their own business. They can start small, maybe take a course or do some freelance work, but that little spark of excitement can really fuel them to learn new things and eventually transition into a career they love.
That's a great example. It shows that financial well-being isn't just about the numbers. It's about living a life that feels authentic and meaningful. It's about escaping that feeling of being trapped in the trinket shop.
Exactly. And that change in mindset can make all the difference when it comes to reaching your financial goals. Because it's not about making sacrifices anymore. It's about pursuing what you truly care about.
So we've talked about saving, increasing your earning potential, and having the right mindset. What's the last piece of the puzzle when it comes to breaking free from the Chuck E. Cheese cycle and achieving true financial well-being?
The final step, and maybe the most important one, is investing. We've talked about saving. But if you just leave your money in a regular savings account, it won't get you very far. Inflation, the rate at which prices go up will slowly eat away at the value of your savings. Think about it. If everything keeps getting more expensive, but your money stays the same, you're actually losing money.
Wow. That's a scary thought. I've definitely noticed.
Yeah.
Things getting more expensive. So how do we fight back against this inflation monster? How do we make our money grow?
That's where investing comes in. Instead of letting inflation shrink your savings, you put your money to work by investing it in assets that have the potential to increase in value.
I have to admit, investing seems really intimidating. Where do you even start?
I understand. The world of finance can feel like this huge, complex thing with its own language and rules. But remember, every expert was once a beginner. The key is to start with the basics, and this video does a great job of explaining some of those. For example, it talks about diversification, which means spreading your investments across different asset classes to manage risk.
Oh, yeah, like don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. The video also touches on different types of investments, stocks, bonds, real estate, even gold. The creator encourages people to do their research, explore different options, and find investments that match their risk tolerance and their financial goals. And he emphasizes that investing in yourself by learning valuable skills or starting a side hustle can be just as important as traditional investments.
I like that he includes that. Goes back to increasing your earning potential and following your passion.
It does. And remember, investing isn't just for rich people. You can start small and gradually invest more as you learn more and gain confidence. The important thing is to start early and be consistent.
That's so great to hear. That investing isn't just for people who are already wealthy. It feels like something anyone can learn with the right help.
Definitely. And speaking of resources, the video creator mentions this book that really influenced him. Have you heard of The Richest Man in Babylon?
The name sounds familiar, but I haven't read it.
It's a classic. In the personal finance world, it's full of timeless advice about building wealth. And it's written as these stories set in ancient Babylon.
Oh, wow. That sounds really interesting. I'll have to check it out. But even those basic investing concepts can be a lot to grasp for someone just starting out.
You're right. It's a lot to learn. But remember, you don't have to become a financial guru overnight. The first step is just being aware, recognizing those Chuck E. Cheese patterns in your own life. Once you see them, you can start making different choices.
Yeah, it really comes back to mindset, believing that you're capable of learning and growing and that it's never too late to start.
Exactly. It's about shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you do have and what you can achieve.
I like that. It's about taking control of your financial future.
It is. And you don't have to do it alone. There are so many resources out there, books, online courses, even financial advisors who can give you personalized advice.
It's like building a team to support your financial well-being. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the only way to stop being broke, what's the one thing you hope our listeners will take away from this?
I'd say the most important thing is to just start. Don't wait until you know everything or have a perfect plan. Just pick one small thing, like setting a budget or automating some savings or reading that book we mentioned, and commit to doing it.
Little by little, those small steps add up to big changes.
I'm excited to see what you all achieve. Remember, you have the power to create a brighter financial future, and it all starts with taking that first step.